What's up, homies, and welcome back to the channel. Today, boys, we've got one of my favorite bikes ever. And you may be thinking, well, why is a Duke 390 your favorite bike? And boys, let me just tell you, these are some of the funnest bikes I've ever ridden in my entire life. This is a 2021 Duke 390. It's got 20,900 kilometers on it, and it's selling for 85,000 Rand. Not too much going on the bike, boys. We've got a nice SETA exhaust. Now, I haven't heard about them before, but as you can see, it's an Italian brand. So that is what your stock tail will look like. Mr. Paul's back. Okay, this is what the tail tidy looks like. Okay, so you've got a tail tidy on there, you've got a nice exhaust, you've got some Barian mirrors, you just need to be tightened a little bit. My personal preference is to actually have them underneath. I think it looks a little bit nicer. So boys, just one or two things. Love the dash, absolutely awesome. And this has got some really cool features. So first of all, if your kill switch isn't down, it tells you. So kill switch is on. Now it's telling us that the side stand is up, so let's get that up. Oh. And there we go. Now we are pretty much ready to start, which we're not going to do it yet. But yeah, boys, I mean, this has got pretty much all the information that you would need. We're actually going to put it into Supermoto mode. Now you have to keep it pressed to do this. And the reason we're doing this is just because we want a little bit more sauce. And I imagine that Supermoto mode is going to have a little bit more sauce, okay? Other than that, boys, I haven't played around with it too much. I don't really want to. ABS is on. I'm sure you can turn that off. Got your fuel range, your battery, date, trip time. I mean, yeah, what more could you ask for, boys? Such a cool little bike. I love these things so much. I think they are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Paul is waiting patiently for us, so we should probably get going. But yeah, I'm so excited for this review, boys. I love riding these things. I don't think you guys quite understand it. But yeah, such an awesome bike. Can't wait to ride it. As per usual, boys, we at the Vet and Bikes. We've got Polly. Nande's over there. The Vet's not in today. Polly is on a, what's it, 2018. So Paul's on, it's pretty much the same bike. Just a little few differences here and there, but yeah. Yeah, Paulie's got a Ekapovic. He's got a Ekapovic. Okay, whatever. As per usual, guys, just a huge thanks to the Vet and Bikes for making this video possible. If it wasn't for him and his awesome company, we would not be here. Did you put yours back into Supermoto? Did you put it back into Supermoto? Okay, you let me know when you do it, and then I'll put mine into Supermoto as well. Oh, this is gonna be fun, boys. Okay, boys, as per usual, we're gonna talk about the comfortability. It's the thing that I like to start off with because, as I always say, it's the thing that jumps out at me first. And what I will say, boys, is that when I first got onto this thing, I was quite uncomfortable. But I think with most bikes, after a couple of minutes on the road, you do kind of get used to sort of the new norm. It does take you a little bit of time to get used to this position because it's almost like you're sitting upright, but while being upright, you're kind of leaned over. It feels like my feet are a little bit far back. Oh shit! Now the seat is a little bit hard. It's not uncomfortable, but again, it's not comfortable. Feels a little bit stiff. That's the one thing that I'm noticing. So yeah, comfort, boys, I'm leaning more so towards like a 7.2ish. If anything changes, I will update it, but I feel like that's quite fair based off of what I'm feeling right now. Looks, we're gonna jump right into looks, boys, because oh, hello, Polly. We're gonna jump right into looks because I think these things look awesome. I think they are such nice looking bikes. So boys, based off of the other lower displacement naked bikes, I would say that this is definitely up there. I would say either this or like the MT-03. I would say that this is maybe slightly better looking. So boys, we have been riding it in road mode. So I'll let you know if there's any, increase and what the bike feels like now, because we are going to put it into Supermoto mode. Okay, boys. So set motorcycle, set Supermoto, hold, keep pressed. Okay. Yeah, boys, just to finish off with the looks. I mean, these things are absolutely awesome. They look so cool, you know? I mean, look at it. It's perfectly shaped. It's like, I would give this a solid 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, boys. It looks awesome. I love the look of these things. That sounds different, bro. Okay. The only 400cc slash 300cc's that I would say, you know, fair up against this thing would be the likes of an R3, CX4RR, and MT-03s. Other than that, boys, these things are some of the, if not the best looking lower displacement bikes. It definitely pulls a little bit harder now that we've put it into Supermoto. You know, I didn't notice myself actually having to hold on as much. So much fun. Whoa, what the f? Bro, that's like the second car that's fucking just cut me off in the last like 2 days. That homie's just pissed that he's on in his fucking little stupid Hilux fucking bucky. And you know, he must go to a shitty job now. He just threw a cigarette out the window, so you know, he's probably got some underlying issues. Now, maneuverability. These bikes are so no. I knew it. I saw you standing up. I saw him standing up, and I knew he was coming for the kill switch. But yeah, boys, maneuverability. I'll throw this thing around the road a little bit now and see what it's like. But you know, it's a lot of these bikes, I don't actually have the opportunity to see what the mobility is like. We'll get like a proper idea because, you know, we don't take them into twisties or anything like that. Yeah, it's difficult to say, but it's quite happy to lean. It's quite happy to be thrown all over the road, and it's got just enough power to do that. What the f? Bro, I don't know if Paul saw that, but that dude was fucking flying around that corner. You know, you really can just duck and dive with this thing. It's basically a supermoto. So, I mean, that should tell you all that needs to be said about maneuverability, boys. Oh yeah, boys. And you know, it's got enough acceleration. You know, a lot of the time, these lower displacement bikes, they don't have enough power, or low end acceleration, I'd say. And because of that, they almost like not. You find yourself worrying a little bit more because you don't have that power to get you out of those little sticky situations. Whereas on this thing, more than enough, boys. More than enough, especially on this supermoto mode. I'm noticing that there's without a doubt at least more torque. Oh, okay. Brakes are good. Brakes are very good. Definitely a little bit more torque for the boys in the supermoto mode, without a doubt, boys. You know, if you give it does, it chucks you back a little bit. So, you know, the power is there, boys. The power is there. Oof, I love this thing, dude. Maneuverability, boys. We're gonna give it a solid. Let's give it an 8.3. That definitely speaks to the maneuverability of this thing. Oh my goodness. Can you boys hear that? Oh my goodness. Yes, like it. This thing's a machine gun, bro. Ba, 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 ba. Acceleration. Okay. Now, boys, it's a RC390. Okay, let's keep that in mind. And this rating is based off of the other lower displacement bikes I've ridden. For its weight class, I would say that it's got some of the best torque and best acceleration that you're going to get out of a 400. Now, obviously, there's the likes of a ZX4RR. Just based off of the few beginner bikes that I have ridden, this thing really does just stand out. You know, it doesn't, when you get on it, it feels more like a 500 than it does a 390. Some of the best torque and acceleration in the class. And for that reason, boys, we are going to give it a solid 8.9 out of 10. You know, because obviously you've got the likes of the ZX4RR, and there's one or two that I haven't ridden, so I can't give it a huge rating. Braking, boys, as I've said once or twice now, absolutely perfect. You know, I had to brake hard 2 or 3 times, more than enough. You know, the brakes are more than sufficient. What stands out for me the most is how easy it is to ride, how smooth it is, and that power to weight ratio. It just makes it nothing but an absolute blast to ride. That low end power is what makes them so versatile. Oh, the dash just changed. Did you boys see that? I think it went from white to black. Oh, boys, these things are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Wow. Almost nothing but good things to say. You know, the only thing is that when you're sitting over here, your feet are there. So, you know, like I said, boys, you really just have to be conscious of where your butt is. If you're sitting back here, awesome. If you're sitting at the front, it's a little bit awkward. So, you know, that comes down to rider preference. Sounds awesome. I love it. I love the sound of these things. They just make noise. You know, there's no shortage of people hearing you on the roads. We probably made a few people angry with how obnoxious these things are. But I love it. Going back to what I said previously, boys, the ease of riding and the power to weight ratio is the reason why the likes of me, you know, someone who is getting off a 675, is able to ride this and still have fun, you know. And I think that that is what's so special about these things. And I would love to get a comparison, you know, between this and the likes of a MT-03. Those are quite rare here, so we don't know if we'll have the opportunity for one of those. But I mean, why get an MT-03 when you can get one of these? Just an absolute pleasure to ride. And once again, boys, this wouldn't have been possible without the one and only Devet Bikes. As I'm sure most of you know by now, Devet Bikes sells bikes, cars, bicycles, jet skis, quad bikes that look like cars. I mean, you know, look at this thing. But look at this. Look at this, boys. Maybe next week. Maybe. This thing is a proper unit, boys. Proper unit. Wouldn't have been possible without Mr. Devet. So huge thanks to Devet and his absolutely beautiful team for making this video possible. To answer your question, is it the best beginner bike? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Ticks all the boxes. It's easy to ride, manageable power, doesn't have a crazy high seat height, it's nice and light, very easy to ride. Gears are smooth, you know, it's got ABS. I think it might have traction control, even though it might not need it. But yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for as a beginner bike? You know, that's all I can say. Boys, if you made it through to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. That's it from me today, boys. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.